Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about another Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stock Market Watch. This is for November 28th, 2021. And depending on when you're watching this, either tomorrow or today, or you missed it, Cyber Monday, there's going to be, I think it's 10%, or it might be 15. I believe it's 10%, but it might be 15% kickback on all purchases. Hopefully you're able to capitalize on Black Friday's kickback. I know that's when I got my Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker took off on Friday, the gold version at least. And I was also able to pick up another card that we'll talk about actually today, right? So just always be making sure you're on the lookout for those type of deals because hey, if you're gonna buy the cards anyway, you might as well get a good deal with it. But without further ado, we're gonna jump right into it. And real quick, I do want to mention Ice Jade Chamorro, right? So I mentioned that there was another card that I got on Black Friday other than Access Code Talker. It was this card. Okay, this card right now is in a very interesting spot because we see it and we look at it. And I'm trying to see if we can stumble upon how many quantities I bought, but there's probably just been so many since I bought the amount that I bought. Right? Okay, that's it. That's actually me right there. Right? So the fact of the matter is that this card is very, very close to becoming a $10 card overnight. Right? It's just that kind of card. Now I look 105 listings, and okay, so the first page, everybody just has one, and I've talked about this card a lot, right? On the Market Watch. This Hawks card house has two. I have seven, as I just mentioned. The first person this person has six. So the first person with more than five is selling it for basically $5, right? And that's kind of where most of the people are at now. It's basically if I know it says it's well, it actually says it's 497, right? But I know it says that the market price is 389. That's just not what it is. The market price is about 450, 499. So this might be actually the last week I talk about this card, right? And but coupling right back off of that, this card as well. I mentioned this card before. I'm gonna say the exact same thing I said before when I mentioned this card because I mentioned it in passing on a Market Watch a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, and this is kind of got the same situation, the best deck doesn't run these two cards. So I mean, look at the third card right there, right? Like as long as the best deck doesn't run these cards are not gonna go super duper high up in value, right? Especially Harpie's Featherstorm, right? Because if there's a crazy cool combo with Harpie's Featherstorm, you could still go get any other version, right? Like all the versions will probably shoot up, but you can still get any other version. Whereas if there's a crazy cool combo with Ice Shade Tomorrow, there's only one. That's why I kind of lean more towards that. I did want to mention I always look at the best selling cards under $5. A booster pack came up this week. Burst to Destiny booster packs. It's a little interesting. I'm not sure why. I think that there's a move to be made with selling sealed product. Sealed product is like its own little game. Like that in and of itself could be a market watch, like sealed product market watch. And if you notice the quantities that most people are getting these at, let me see if anybody got him at one. This person got him at one. That's just not the move. Because of like, I mean, you got to play taxes anyway, regardless of where you get the booster pack. But like taxes and sometimes shipping, and just like overall pricing. Like, I mean, I don't think this like a store like Meyer sells them for 254, right? So maybe that's why people have been getting them. I just think that like your local card, that's a really easy way to support your local card shop is to buy booster packs and stuff from them, right? Like these individual cards you get from TCG Player, because in a lot of cases the card shop either the price is outdated or the price is just higher than it needs to be, right? But booster packs are usually on the right spot, right? I accidentally clicked on Conquistador the Golden Land. This is interesting though that this is now a $2 card, because when I talked about this, I think last week, um, I don't think graph there, we could try to see here too. It was not a $2 card, right? So like it was about a $1 card, and now we're starting to see, okay, other players or other people are starting to buy this card to the point to where now it's that can't be right. To where now, okay, you know, the 250 is the lowest price, right? And very quickly it'll be 3, right? This is actually very close to being a $3 card. You got these 3 light plays here. This is a near mint for 3, right? So you have these 2 cards. You got Cheesesteak Yugioh, who has 1. Let's look at the photo. That looks legit. That looks legit. And you have Galactic Desserts. So maybe even after I'm done editing this video, these will be gone. Or maybe when you've seen this, as soon as you see it, you go check it, there'll be 1 of these left. But like probably as you're watching this video, this is a $3 card, right? And so this train, it's not gonna go. Obviously, this isn't gonna be a $100 card at any moment. It probably will never be a $50 card. It probably won't be a $30 card or even a $10 card. The other version, excuse me, has a market price of $5. I could see this having the exact same, if not more. It just depends on where people fall. Premium gold rares are cool rarities. There are some individuals who really like the gold rarities. I could see this eclipsing the original. I doubt it, but it could definitely happen, right? Floanderies and snow is rising. Can someone let me know why? Like piercing, banish, change all special summon mouse to face down defense. I guess that's kind of cool. I don't know why though. I feel like M-Pen, Ryza, Avion, all searchable. There's no way you run more than 1, obviously. But I think also like it's not good. I don't think it's that good. Now something that a lot of people are doing, um, I will say this about this card. We'll talk about this card for a second. Is that for the M-Pen? If we look, we can probably find M-Pen. For M-Pen, people are just summoning monsters. It's like Lightning Star. People are summoning monsters in defense position, right? Like your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon monsters they control in attack position. So people are playing around that. So as more people play around that, I think people are playtesting this card to see, like, if instead of negating their effects, they can just be a Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I still don't think it's better than M-Pen though, and it's certainly not better than Riser or Avion. Right, so I don't love this card, but you guys let me know. Next, Mystic Mine. If you've been meaning to run this card, first off, you're a horrible person. Second off, I'm just kidding. Second off, you're going to want to pick it up soon, right? We got the Dark Neostorm over 5. This is, you know, over 9. It's like, these were at 10 for the longest time. This came out, brought all these down. Now we're starting to see it's starting to level it back out. It is starting to rise. I don't know if they're going to all be 10 at some point, but we look at Infinite Permanence. You look at Ash Blossom. I think you look at Nibiru. I think maybe, right? Let me double check on Nibiru. Right, and Mystic Mine is honestly about as good as this card. Honestly, if you look at Nibiru, all versions of Nibiru, even one that hasn't even came out yet, are over $15. So it is 100% a possibility that Mystic Mines everywhere will be $10. So just keep an eye out. Look at this card. It says the market price is $229, the lowest is $197. I don't know where the $197 is coming from. I have absolutely no idea where the $329 or $197 is. It is a $341, $360, $364, $368, $369, and this person's holding the line at 4. It's really a $350. It's a $4 card. It's honestly a $4 card, and so it's not going to take very long for it to be a $5 card. And I don't really see it stopping at 5. So just keep an eye on Mystic Mine for sure, for sure. This card made me laugh. This card always... How many versions of this card are there? Oh, there's only 3. Okay. This card always randomly pops up in decks, but it's not like a great card. Like, I know you look at it and go, okay, it's like Vanity's Emptiness, but like significantly worse, right? Like, okay, the big issue with this card, and we'll see, maybe this is a good buyout target. Because even though a card is bad, doesn't mean it's a bad buyout target. Let me see. There's not a lot of people with a lot of copies, but there are a lot of copies at under $5. Like a lot. Okay, we're at page 3. We're still under 5. We're at page 4. We're starting to get to 5. All right, we're at 5 on page 4. There's a lot though in between there. The issue with this card is that it's a lot more restrictive than you think. Like a lot of times cards like Anti-Spell Fragrance or There Can Only Be One or Goes in Match, you run the floodgate so it doesn't hurt you. Summon Limit is not one of those cards. Summon Limit does hurt. Like, let's say this is random Floandereeze. Floandereeze would make a lot of sense. Altergeist sometimes, you could argue, makes a lot of sense. There's going to be game states, there's going to be board states where you're going to want to summon more than twice. Right? And then, it's a double-edged sword, right? So, not only does Summon Limit hurt you too, because you can't summon that much, but there's going to be instances where your opponent not being able to summon twice doesn't matter, and they summon once and they kill you. Or they summon twice and they kill you. I do want to say this too. There's another card. No one talks about this card, and so I'm talking about this card now. Share with your friends. Summon Breaker does a very similar thing. It has the same monster on it, right? It's in the same picture. It says during main phase 1, if the turn player has successfully conducted their 3rd summon of a monster, it becomes the end phase. This is the damage for 25 cents. This isn't a Market Watch type card, because this card will never be more than $1. I don't think. I certainly hope not. Because there's 2 versions and they're both under 50 cents. But like, if you want a floodgate that hurts you and your opponent and isn't that good, but isn't that expensive, get Summon Breaker over Summon Limit, in my opinion. I just think they do the exact same thing. I mean, obviously you could play around it because of the main phase 1 clause and the battle phase and all that jazz, but I don't know. So we'll just keep going on now here. This is the last card we're going to talk about. Artifact Scythe. Let me just do this again. We'll play this game real quick. We go up here. Artifact. Nope. There we go. So all artifact cards except Dagda are... I mean, okay, you got the Secret Lancias. Let's just do this. Let's just get this out the way here so we can find the cards we're not going to talk about. Here we go. Okay. Starting with Sanctum and excluding certain versions of Thurndal, Lancia, Sanctum, and Scythe. And Dagda, all artifact cards are penny stocks. But since 3 copies of Scythe, 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Lancia, 3 copies of Sanctum, honestly 2 copies of Morlatech, 2 copies of Durandal, and 3 copies of Ignition. 3 copies of Morlatech. 2 copies of Durandal, 3 copies of Ignition. Which one would I say are the most likely cards to no longer be penny stocks? Right? Well, the first obvious answer is just the market price high to low. Which cards... Because there's a combo that's done with this. I don't exactly know the full combo, like exactly how to do it and what's needed, what's not. All I know is that Lancia has been a very popular side deck staple for quite some time, and Sanctum and Scythe have been randomly putting themselves in and out of decks every now and again. Morlatech used to be ran with that package. It's not really anymore. I wouldn't see Morlatech or Durandal popping up. I could see Ignition. Ignition is something to keep an eye out for, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's probably the Primal Origin version. Right? Like, if you're not sure which version of a card is going to shoot up in price, go with the original version. Because this is dollars. It's not going to take much for this to become a $2 card. I don't see this shooting over $5 because there are so many versions of it and not a lot of people are running it. But oh, it's something to keep an eye out for. But let's look at the Sanctums and the Scythes, right? Now, the Sanctums and the Scythes both have different rarities that are over $5. So could there be another rarity that goes over $5? Like I said, look at the original version. Now, the original version of Artifact Scythe is already over $5. But the original version of Sanctum is got a market price of over $5. But it's technically not over $5. We got a live play for 4. Okay, it is over $5. You hate to see it. So the Mega Pack versions though too. The Mega Pack versions have been expensive before too. And this card is also about to be no longer a penny stock. And so then we got to look at Armageddon and see if any of these cards, this is just, wow. Did this happen as I was doing this? Did this happen as I was doing the market watch? This card is technically still a $5 card. But once the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies are gone, this is no longer a $5 card. So Sanctum is about to no longer be a $5 card because that was the cheapest version of Sanctum. So check that as soon as you watch this video. I probably won't be buying any of them, but check that as soon as you watch this video because if you want your Sanctums and you don't care about rarity, or if you want your Sanctums because you're trying to make a quick buck and and you want one under $5, this one's about to be gone. And all the other ones are gone. Alright? Now we look at Scythe. Scythe's got a lot of versions. Right? Which version? So we got the original for Primal Origin and the Mega Pack version. With artifacts, the Mega Packs from 2015 and the Primal Origin versions have just kind of gone up and down with each other, right? So we're just going to look at them both. This card is knocking on the door of $5 as well. Very, very close to a $5 card. This version is already a $5 card. The Mega, like I said, and that was the weird thing is like, and if you've been watching this card's value, not just over the last couple months, but like over the last like 3 or 4 years, or like over the last, okay, not 2015, 6 years. For quite some time now, the Primal Origin version and the Mega Pack versions of all artifact cards have been going up and down. So the reason I'm saying that is because in a lot of cases, it's like I want the original art of a card or I don't want it at all. That's not the case for artifacts. Artifacts, simply put, artifacts, I mean, even the Battles of Legend Armageddon, like Battles of Legend Hero Revenge is an expensive card. Battles of Legends Light's Revenge. Battles of Legends Heroes Revenge. You see what I'm saying? Like, even like the non-mega, like even the non-mega tin and Primal Origin versions of these cards are expensive, right? Or they're starting to climb. Like, we look at the Heroes Revenge version of Scythe. This is the one that you're going to look at if you're looking for a penny stock. If you're looking for one of those cards under $5, we got to go to page 3 before we can even get to that first $5 card. But it's not going to take very long before all versions of Scythe are $5. I mean, that's remember how did I get here? One of the best selling cards was Artifact Scythe under $5, right? So it's Artifact Scythe. So just keep an eye out on Artifact Scythes. If you want the engine, if you want the package, I get told that all the time when I go to locals. Pick up artifacts, pick up artifacts, pick up artifacts. So I'm just probably reiterating something you've already heard. But let me know what you guys think. What $5 cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are you looking at right now? Let me know in those comments down below. Click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for even more content. But most importantly of all, have a good day.